So I'm going to be a cliche and do two pieces, but the first one will be about heartbreak, because that's what we all do. And this is called I Love Theme Parks because it's the only place in the world where you can scream for 70 minutes without someone calling the police. And it goes like this. I remember a time when the city opened up under our touch to reveal gold and me. How I opened up under yours, me, a jewelry box. You, a thief in an upstairs bedroom. Me, a punnet of live crickets. You, a snake, already too big for his vivarium and still hungry. I told your mother how I've accidentally killed all of my houseplants, and that's when she stopped sending me emojis on Facebook. I told you the only time I saw you smile was when you were sleeping, and that's around the same time we broke the promises we were keeping. See, I remember the night you walked out on me, and we had leftover Japanese food in the downstairs fridge, and I couldn't eat takeaway from Kayatoya for the longest time. I couldn't eat for the longest time. You asked me never to write a poem about you, and I promised I wouldn't because I never write about what I thought was going to be the future. And I couldn't anyway because we were always drunk. Why do I still dream about you? Why does sandalwood only ever remind me of you? Why is sober life, sordid life, yoga life, a shadow life? Because you are not the best worst thing I chased down and ran after. You are a fucking bus I threw myself under. It was Christmas Eve. 400 miles apart, our phones had bad signal, the perfect symbol for our loose connection. Your voice breaking up as we were breaking up. I wasn't sure you could hear me, so I whispered, you are like a god to me, because I no longer believed in you. Because parents take you to church to show you the importance of love and trust, but they don't tell you what to do when you see no evidence of it existing. You held me like a threat. Your hands on my body like spades. The last time we spoke was the last time I remember feeling afraid. Maybe it was raining where you were. It was raining here. Either way, it was 4 a.m., both places, you pacing a street near your brother's house, I'm guessing. Maybe you weren't pacing. Maybe I don't miss you. But I ate a portion of fruit each month, remembering how you once ate a plum from my cunt, your eyes behind my pussy's mound, like a crocodile surfacing. Perhaps it was a peach and your eyes were shut. Perhaps you never surfaced. I wish you never surfaced. You asked never to receive a poem from me. You still haven't. The first one always makes my legs go like a Shetland pony. But this one is like less sad-ish. And it's for all the people in the room that have had like a matriarch, a really strong feminine energy in their life, and I hope all of you have had that at some point because it's so important and so precious. So this is for my grandmother, and it goes like this. I'm built like my grandmother. A broad back and a round face. I could never take her place because she was a majestic woman. She never had to call a taxi cab for a drunk friend, but she's carried young men to gravestones and asked them to forgive their fathers. And so have I. I'd rather tell you about the apple trees in her garden where I learned to be a woman and not the tomboy I wanted to be. But instead, I'll tell you how I learned to ride a bike in her backyard, and when I fell off for the 100th time, I clung to her knees and her skirt real hard, and I cried. I cried more from that hurt than when she died. Because the Stewart family don't cry. They don't grieve. But what a relief it was to find peace in her legacy, to source solace in the bandy legs she gave to me. Thank you. Thank you for the genetic inheritance you left for me, because strength is residual. Maybe you left it for everyone, but maybe it's individual. I'm sorry vanity stopped me from being grateful. Every time I hear, "You have your grandma's mouth," I cross my fingers for your wisdom to come out for it. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that Ireland doesn't have sides or tribes. It has human beings living their own separate lives and in fear, marginalized, that only want to be heard and forgotten how to hear the struggles of their neighbors. You said it's a labor of love to be kind to those who hurt you, because we're all hurting in some places. There's no need to fall further from grace. And I remember petrol bombs at primary school. Football teams divided takes and prods, but you thank God that I never knew which side we belonged to. Thank you. Your heart doesn't beat in mine, because that shit is just poetry. I'm sorry I never told you how much you meant to me, but I'm so glad strength is residual. Thank you.